Brian on it. Brian can do it.
Okay. Yeah?
No, sorry. Top interview.
Start now.
Are we ready, folks?
Where's the credits and all that?
Right, me and you, we go back a long way. What I'm about to ask you is that, can you, not exactly remember when you first went down, but can you remember what it was like, as far as your recollection is, when you did go down?
When I did go down, all the boys were down there. It was a great atmosphere with, I remember seeing the Adams, the Phones, many other characters. I used to knock about with Jasper, Joey, who else? Marcel Pugh. And that was my generation of guys. At that time, I used to always see the older guys, and I used to look at them as being the big bros. And I used to look up to them and think, God, I've got to dress like that. You know what I mean? I like his style. I like the style, the suits that they were wearing. And how they was in character, the characters.
And what did you think of the crowd?
Well, it was just the crowd. It was electrifying. Just great atmosphere.
So, you never had no problems? You
No.
didn't feel that, hang about, Matt, this is either not for me or, you know, I feel a bit unease?
Today, I felt like I was at home.
So we're back to that. So you felt you were with a crowd of people that you had in common with. You all had something in common with, whether it be the music, the dress.
It was all about the music, the club, the dress, the characters, being recognised of who you are. You know, this is us. We're all the same characters of what we want to be.
What characters stand out for you, Ed?
What characters? People like Barry was one. He was a cool character, like yourself. Like Phil, because I used to go down with Phil's brother.
What I mean is the characters that were loud.
Oh, the loud ones.
Like, remember Sid Wolf?
Oh, Sid Wolf.
Characters like Jan Willis,
Yeah.
Kenny McNeil.
Jan was a character.
You know, characters like that. And,
well, when I used to go there, he used to always kind of, he used to always kind of look out for me, keep his eye on me, make sure I was okay, and things like that. And so did other characters too. They used to kind of like, you know, look out for you and make sure you was...
And what did you think of the women that went?
The women? They were nice, very nice women. There was people like yourself, got your name, yeah. Carmen, the Adams girls, the Fawns girls.
So so you would say it was a fair mixture of different colour of girls.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody you ever fancied that you're willing to say now?
No, because
say then?
what I used to do was I used to like go in a nightclub in town, and then after town straight to the Reno. So I'd bring girls from town into the Reno.
So you'd enhance the place, you'd
Yes,
bring
very much
people
so.
down, introduce them, and
Very much so. Yeah.
what did your parents think of it?
My parents used to always say, you know,
Because I believe your father was a Moss Side man.
yeah, he used to always say to me, don't get into those heavy drugs and stuff. You know, he used to say, I know you smoke weed, but don't get into the heavy stuff. Always. And whenever he used to go back home, he used to always kind of like check me out, look at me to make sure that I wasn't like going crazy or...
Did your father ever go to Reno?
Yeah, he did.
So how did it feel when your father used to go down?
It was my father and mother that took me to the Reno.
Wow.
On my birthday. And it was my 16th birthday, the very first time I ever went. But the last time I remember was when Marcel went down to Reno 1 week, and he said to me, "Ivan, you come to Reno?" And I said, "No, I don't fancy it tonight, Mars," because we was living together. And he goes down that night, and that was the night when it was the 80s, actually.
Oh, just for the interviewer, sorry, we're talking about Marcel King and the Sweet Sensation, just in case you don't realise what man we're talking about.
Yeah, and it was that night when the Cheating gang went down. And that's when Marcel ended up in hospital. And then after that, I went down to the Reno, and Latty said to me, "Ivan, be careful now." He said, you know about the gang coming down, the cheating old boys. There's a lot of trouble, be careful. I'm just warning you. Giving me a warning. So I goes down, and when I went down, it was empty, man. It was really, really empty. And I sat there just...
Like the specials have been, hasn't it? Singing "This Town's a Ghost Town."
Yeah, you might as well have said that. And anyways, and I just sat there, chilled out, had a drink, had a smoke, and I thought, wow, it just felt so gloomy. And that was the last time I ever went.
Well, Mr. Smith,
End of.
it's been nice talking
Cut,
to you.
folks. Cut, folks. Feedback.
I think the interview got better right near the end.
Yeah.
Well,
Tell us what you thought was wrong.
I thought Brian asked the questions, but I felt he was nearly enough answering the questions that he was asking.
I agree.
I don't think Ivan was doing enough of delving back into the questions that was asked. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. But you can't blame the interviewee. It's
No.
the interviewer.
But then I found near the end when he asked the questions, he prompted him to remember a night and a specific event that made him really open up about what his thoughts were on those nights.
I think you were playing the long game. I think you were playing the
Yeah,
long
but if
game.
you've got 5 minutes,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
knows
yeah.
he's got 5 minutes. He's got to go in for the kill.
Yeah.
An interviewer's here, and I think, given how we've all, started, I think you can only get better. When you ask someone to do something which they don't do, listen to all of us, they say practice is perfect.
Absolutely. This
And
is
that's
just
what you
the
have
practice.
to do. And gradually it comes together. So when you do talk, it flows. At the moment, we're asked to talk, and if you get an interview that interviews someone, he's usually got paper, they usually knows about what he's done
Exactly.
and what questions to ask and what's irrelevant.
Yeah, but
We're just
we're
asking
playing
at
it
the top of
by
our head.
we're playing it by ear.
That's what I'm saying, we're saying
But
at the top
playing
of
it
our
by
head.
ear, what you have to do then is when you ask a question, the question is totally specific. So if you'd have asked that Ivan, funnily enough, tell me about the last night you went down, that's when his story got interesting. Because his last night was he chose not to go, his best friend gets leathered, he goes down the next day, it's a ghost town, and that's the end of the Reno for him. Do you know what I mean? So the question really specific.
That was the best
I think-
question.
Yeah,
I think you started to open up there when you started saying about how did your dad feel about it.
that was a good
Yes,
question.
yeah.
Like, I think
Definitely.
no one's mentioned like the
And,
parents.
and when you asked him and he
really
opened
so
up and
far.
said, "Oh, on my 16th birthday, my mum and dad took me down there."
Yeah,
That was
that's
like,
what
wow, that was interesting because that was the first time. So we got the first time we'd gone down there.
And
we
the
got
last. But also, I'm not. It's not personal
It's not-
to you. If you'd have listened to him say, "My mum and dad took me down when I was 16," the obvious question is why. And then you'd get a bigger story, wouldn't you? Because do you know what I mean? Like, well, why did you? That's on you.
Well, I was a little nervous then, I must admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Johnny being with Leather. It's all positive. He asked him really good questions.
Yeah.
But it was good.
And yeah.
And I just say that we nominate 2 people to be the interviewers, right? Brian and Steve.
Well-
Because they had 2 good interview techniques.
I thought everybody had a good, different way.
But it was...
I thought Stevie's was particularly
Yeah.
good. I thought it was
Yeah.
really natural, but everybody had a
But I
different.
think also what we are
Thing.
remember is when we're asked to do
You've got to
something
remember, I had research with
for the
Kirby,
first time,
you know what I mean? So I knew what I was
it
kind of
is,
like
it is a
saying,
bit,
Yeah, we need to give Ivan a go before we leave,
Then I
folks.
brought football in, I knew about that, you know what I mean? So,
What you did is perfect. We need to do it the other way around before we go. Right, go on, Ivan. So, Sorry.
Well, I have an interview you, or do you need to analyse?
Do you want to interview me?
Yeah, because we've been interviewed.
Go on then. What? So it's not on me, it's on the interviewer. Right, go on. I've gone all sharp.
Evening.
I really have. Hiya.
Good evening.
Turned it around on you.
Yeah, I've proper gone sharp.
What was your last night, I believe, that you remember?
It was after it was dead, and I went to the Cornerhouse with Susie Prowse tripping, and we watched Sid and Nancy, and then we went to, what's that called? Oh, the Cornerhouse was really posh then, and Susie was really hot, and she kept, and everyone was sat facing the front, and Susie suddenly shouted, "I can't get my fucking boot off." And me and her took to laughing, but because everybody else was posh, they didn't turn around, which meant that everybody missed the first 15 minutes of the film. And then we went to Roots, which was like the replacement of the Reno for a time. And we went there and then we said, oh, let's just go down the Reno. But that was really sad because we was tripping. We seen it like as an empty ship. Do you know what I mean? It just, there was loads of people there, but the atmosphere was gone and Persian was gone. So.
Can you remember what they was playing last in the Reno?
That was one of the things, was mentioning no names. I wasn't particularly keen on the DJ. So, like, you know, like you go in and you've got that expectation of your tune's going to play in a minute and then you'll get going. It never happened. Do you know what I mean? We just, I don't even remember what the music was, but we just went, oh, this is fuckeries, and left. And then we went to, we started going to Hume then, to blues in Hume. Like more ravey scenes.
I don't think I know what to say after that, really. Well, what I was asking you was the last night you went into the Reno, if you can remember that, your last attendance.
That's what I've just told you. That was the totally last night.
Last night.
Was, yeah, because I think it was because I was tripping, you know, like you see things different.
I see.
And you just seen the, that it was gone. Everything that we've described all night was gone. It was just gone. Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have anything else to ask you. What can I say?
Okay, all right, thank you. Right, go on then.
What did we get to?
Hold on a second. Before you go, come on, let's critique Ivan's.
Ivan,
He was a bit shy, I think. Yeah, at the moment he was a bit shy. Then again.
which is understandable.
Yeah, but we'll all get into it. Jeff was shy because he didn't
Can we have one conversation, folks? Ivan, you should be listening to this critique. Go on.
Yeah, and like Ivan, he just didn't know how to come across.
He's forgotten. He didn't forget.
Well, you didn't know me.
Hold on. Go on.
Ivan run out of questions towards the end. Right, so you reverted back to your original question, which had already been answered.
Answered, yeah.
Yeah. So if you'd have thought a little bit more, maybe, well, that was your last night. Can you recall your first night?
You see, not only that, in interviewing techniques, you got to think of the primers.
Yeah.
Oh, when, where, who, you know, those if you ask those questions, you get answers.
Yeah.
You know, and we should all keep that in mind. Always remember those adjectives. Oh, when, how, where, who, you know, it helps you, the person you're interviewing, to give an answer.
Definitely.
You're drawing the answer out of that person by asking those type of questions.
Yeah.
Well said.
You know, it's underpinning what you want from them by using that technique.
So when you do it again, Ivan, what say you know? is look at things, you know, like what we've done in here tonight, and think about it again. Like, talk to Linda about the past and then use it, you know what I mean? Like I use Cooley, you know what I mean?
Why?
You know what I mean?
When? You know?
Right, quick question before we get off. Who doesn't want to go to the... I'll do the hat thing at home and let you know tomorrow. Who doesn't want to go to the awards ceremony on Monday?
Where is it?
3. It's at the Deaf Institute.
Oh, it's only there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's only for 3 places, and I'm going to draw them from a hat, but it's good for me to know who doesn't want to go.
There's 2 stairs, isn't there? There's a lot of stairs in there.
You don't want to go. You don't want to go, David.
I
You
know,
not
I
want
had a
to
friend of
go.
mine over here in Ringwood.
All right then.
It's, where is it?
Deaf Institute. Thanks for tonight, folks. It was
Thank you.
absolutely fabulous.
Same time next week in the same room.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm getting,
interviews next week.
yeah, the interviewer woman's coming next week.
Oh, yeah. Can we
Yeah, so
find,
Steve, if you can make it, I know you're struggling
can we
for
find out?
Yeah, we're getting interviewed next week by ID Magazine, so come if you can.
Yeah, I'll have to, what we'll do is I'll have to take all my time. See what
So
I'm
we'll have
saying,
it
though.
over there.